โดนทิ้งจนบอบช้ำคือเธอคนเดียวที่อยู่เคียงข้างฉันยิ่งนานวันฉันยิ่งรักเธอ
Wherever anybody wants to put it.
I just put mine under new business.
Well, let's do that.
Just at the bottom,
We'll just say park update, how's that?
park update. Anybody got anything else? No? I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition.
I will second.
Okay,
All in favor? Aye.
that's with the amendment, right?
Yeah,
The
with the
addition.
addition, yep. Opposed? Okay,
Motion passes.
approval of the meeting minutes from August the 10th,
I make a motion to accept the meeting notes as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? There you go.
Passes.
Let me sign this copy?
Sure. And now that's done.
That part's done.
Do that.
All right. Treasurer's report, Vanessa?
In the general fund, there's $526,020.46. In the water fund, there's $97,582.61. Park fund is $27.04. Road fund is $282,215.15. Cemetery fund is $22,344.41. And down at the bottom, you're gonna see a little chart. That top number, $11,902.32 was delinquent water bills last year. The $6,750.59 is current.
Current delinquent?
Yep. So that number is going down,
Yep, it is.
Okay.
almost half.
How many accounts do you think that is attributed to?
Well, in the 180-day one, there is, I'd say 3 or 4. A couple of them are, owners have just kind of disappeared and just poof, out in the wind. One I know is under bankruptcy. A couple of them, water shutoffs are going out. But mostly they are just people up, left, bankruptcy. So we just gotta wait for the motions. We had a couple that were 90 days, water's been shut off, property's been sold, we've collected. We got another property that's pretty far in, it's up for sale, we're gonna be collecting off that soon.
Good.
So that number should go down a lot more by next year.
Looks good.
And I would like to make a motion, when we get to the payables, you'll see, to move $20,000 from savings to checking in the general fund.
I did see that. You're absolutely right. Needs to happen.
Yes.
Okay. 120, you said?
Or no, I'm sorry, 20,000.
That's what I thought you said.
Oh, I thought you said 120, I'm sorry.
Savings?
Savings to checking.
Got it.
So if you guys wanna do
Yeah,
the
we need
report
to-
first and then,
Yeah, we need to vote on this.
I'll make a motion on her report
Okay.
to approve.
Mhm.
We're talking about the payables report? Oh, on the treasurer's
We're still
report.
on the treasurer's report.
I'll second to accept that treasurer's report.
Roll call vote. Trustee White,
Yes.
trustee Banks,
Yes.
treasurer Warner,
yes.
clerk Lamore, yes, supervisor Warner,
Yes.
and the vote's 5-0. Motion passes. The second would be the motion to move $20,000 from savings to checking in the general fund. And we also need a roll call on that.
Gonna make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
You wanna second that motion?
Savings to checking?
We did?
Yes.
I think so, yes.
Did everybody see anything?
Roll call, please.
All right, Treasurer Warner,
Yes.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Trustee Banks,
Yes.
Supervisor Warner,
Yes.
Clerk Moore, yes.
Okay.
Passes 5-0.
Payables.
What is the paid out?
What's that?
What is the paid out, 3,000?
3,000? Yes, I believe that's to, Dave Fisher for an advance on, materials.
I wonder why I didn't say that.
That's a good question,
Yeah,
but that's what it is.
yeah, yeah.
Any other questions on it? Okay.
Make a motion. Pay the bills.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Treasurer Warner,
Yes.
Clerk Moore, yes. Trustee Banks,
Yes.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Supervisor Warner.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right. On down to public comment. Anybody have anything?
Minutes on the website, when are they gonna be updated? The last one that was published on there was from 6/22, June,
June?
yeah.
I don't know the answer to
Okay.
that. I haven't been in the
We'll
office
bring
that
it to
much.
Bridge.
I went in there to try and find the minutes where you spoke about the MCL that prohibits you publishing the Zoom on a FOIA. So I'd like that information.
Okay,
If you can get it to me, then I don't have to file the FOIA.
that's fine.
Action on the blight administration, what's being done with it?
Dave Guest was presented that. I can't speak to what he's done.
Who can?
Dave Guest.
What are you asking about?
All the complaints that are being filed, and I'm wondering if he follows protocol in the description of his job. He's supposed to go around the township once a year and look for blight. He evidently doesn't do that, or if he does he record it? Does he file a report on it?
He does. And the report that you gave to us was passed along to him the very next morning,
Okay,
intact.
and there's been nothing back yet?
I'm sorry?
There's nothing back yet?
I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen anything.
I ran into Dave this morning and we chatted for a moment and he was on his way, it was 7 o'clock this morning and he was on his way out to follow up on, people that he's had contact with, and he didn't say specifically who. I just know that that's what he was doing at 7 o'clock this morning. So he's out there doing something.
Okay.
Planning Commission, what are they accomplishing in the Planning Commission? What are we doing with the ordinances through NEMCOG? Is that ready to be updated? Is it updated? What's,
Oh, it takes they're set for this thing to take as much as 18 months, Craig.
okay,
It's a total revision,
yeah.
so it's gonna be ongoing.
So what else
for
is
some
the
time.
Planning Commission involved in right now that they need to meet once a month? Why don't we cut it back to quarterly if they're not really doing
Oh,
anything?
they're meeting all the time. The meeting last night, nobody from the general public showed up. I shouldn't say that. Mary Dugas was here.
But what are they working on?
Right now, we're working on exactly that, all the revisions in the zoning. The first
Well, I
time
thought
we met-
NEMCOG was handling that.
I'm sorry?
Thought NEMCOG was doing it.
NIMCOG is doing it with the planning commission.
Okay,
That way, we give them what we have, they give us what the state law says, and then we start doing the
Yeah.
rewrites. State law comes up with new things, as you well know, all the time. And we have to follow whatever the state law reads, plus what we have internally for the township. And we have to integrate those two to still be legal to pass along to the general public, so they're proper.
all right.
So that's what we're doing. The next meeting, in fact, will be with a NEMCOG individual, and that'll be Eric, and we'll be working on ordinances. So you're welcome to join September.
All right, I'm done.
Once a month.
September what?
Okay.
Which minutes did
And
you say
it's,
you were looking
I believe it's the 8th.
The
I
eighth?
can't remember the date.
Is that the
Is that on
second
Thursday?
Monday?
The 8th is on a
There was
Thursday.
a revision in August and September because Gordon Green's going out
Oh,
of
okay.
town now, he's gonna be in Maine. So there was a difference in the
Oh, okay.
timing there as well.
All right. That's usually when it is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The second, what is it?
Second Monday.
Monday.
That's the
But
12th.
I think it's probably been moved to the
January.
18th
Okay.
for that reason.
Craig, which minutes were you looking for?
Well, whatever the
Hmm?
next Friday-
Which
next
minutes were
Monday
you
is.
looking for?
19th?
Which what?
Minutes.
September
Minutes.
19th.
What,
Everything
I'm
from June
trying to
1.
find out what the MCL was that he stated about not doing the Zoom FOIAs.
We haven't even, in all honesty, Craig, I haven't been able to do that. I know there is such a thing, I've got I've got it in the state law, I haven't pulled it up for you yet, but we do have it. I'll get you a copy and shoot it down to you, okay?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else? No? All right. Moving on. Got some old business. Employee handbook. We, tabled it last time, we tabled it the meeting before. I think it's on here, and, there's some new stuff coming down from the government on the state. So, wait till it shows up, table it again.
Yeah, well, we do need to have a meeting, it's gonna have to take place between myself, Evelyn, and Lindsay. Because it sort of mirrors a little bit from a different county and also from this county, is in regards to how we in fact work this without a union. Because they have unions and we don't, but you can still modify it very easily, and that's where we had a problem in the past, and that's why we need to look at it. So table, please.
Table. Water meters made it on there again, Vanessa? Is that you?
Well, the 10 that we had, they're up. I sent Aaron a email, so he should be getting back with me to start the software.
So that's just a FYI update.
Just waiting on the other ones. 'cause
Okay.
They're on back order.
They're pretty neat. They radio right to your computer. You don't have to send guys out to check them or nothing else. DPW after hours. I think we, table that one. I think we are, still looking at phones or pagers or something so that we can get a hold of him at an after hour.
Yep.
There's a feature on Androids, and I believe he has an Android, where he can turn off all incoming calls on his line, but a incoming call from, if it's routed through this line here, will ring through, so that he can be assured that the
Oh, yeah.
only,
So you put
So
the whole
maybe
phone
look at
on
that.
sleep mode except for like one or two numbers?
Yeah, if you star, if you go in the contacts and star like this number, the township's number, and you go on, cause like I have my phone set to do not disturb between 10 PM and
Right.
8 AM. but I have it to where only my starred contacts will ring through.
Right,
But any type of
Okay.
like notifications, text messages, or
Right.
anything else, email bings or anything, it won't wake you up. Your phone's basically on silent except for that.
so if
One
he
phone
can-
number.
Right, if he can do that, it's a select list, if he
And
can
that's
do
it.
that, then that just solves the entire
Solves the
issue.
problem.
The star number, all right, you can set his own up, all right,
Is that
just
free?
know that.
Yeah, it's part of the, I've got
For
mine
your
set up that
internal.
way.
Oh,
Yeah, DPW's on line 4, it's got its own line.
Yeah, you just have to get a hold of the telephone company and have them do like a routing where it will like route to his number after so many rings or something like that.
Well, you can set your phones up to 5 o'clock at night until 7 in the morning to forward calls. And you do it on your terminal.
That's right.
So you forward the calls to Brian's number. Brian has his phone set up to only allow certain calls through certain hours, and that solves the issue.
and I think one of his, I don't know if it was a worry, but he doesn't wanna be on call every weekend, so to
So
pass
then
it
you set
around.
it up to whomever you want that it forwards to, and they can
Yep.
choose to answer all calls or set it up like Brian does.
Mm.
Certain hours, only things come. So it's gonna only go to whomever you set it to forward,
Right.
so it's a matter of remembering to forward the phone.
Okay,
Okay.
alright, cool.
Okay,
That'll solve the big problem.
well, yeah. Look into what kind of phone he has,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you don't have a jitterbug, it probably work.
No, I played with his phone, so
Should've,
he should be able to do it.
Alright, downtown discussion, we discussed a few things
Yep,
last meeting.
yep, quite a lot at the last meeting, actually. I don't think we've had any updates except for the ladies from the flowers. They want to be heavily involved in this and setting it up as far as trees and plantings and so on and so forth. And they also, the president of that group also would like to be the lady that leads the Parks and Recreation. I don't see anything like that. We discussed it last time at the last meeting.
Park and Recs Committee.
Yep.
There was a couple other people that kinda contacted me on that, was possibly interested if we were gonna put something together.
Well, I know we are, so it's a question of those three at least getting together.
Yes, and I think we need one of those committees in order to be in compliance with NEMCOG for the zoning part of our parks net, don't we? I think that was one of the things we've been working on for a while, is getting
For
a
the
committee.
downtown, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, not the park, but yeah, downtown.
right, but the Park and Rec Committee, isn't that something that we had to, or no, we didn't have to be, that to be in compliance?
They don't have to be, no. No. This is like doing the park right now, where we have to have landscaping, but we didn't have to have them do that.
Right,
But we did. I think we are having to do it, are we not? In the park?
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
yeah, but I mean, if we had a Park and Recs Committee,
Yep.
you know, they would
They wouldn't
be a little
necessarily-
more part of what was coming their way, is to just
well, that's-
throw
yeah.
something at them.
And it's not just a matter of plantings and so on, it's also a matter of putting together music in the park and things of that nature that we haven't had in some time. And it's not that hard to do, somebody just has to do it. And that would be them. Chamber hasn't shown any response to that at all.
No?
I could give you my name and number, I'd be interested in being at a committee like that.
Yeah,
Did you?
Yeah.
Are you signed up there?
I am.
yeah, she's here,
We'll grab you and put your phone
Okay.
number on there before you leave.
Okay.
Thank
yeah,
you.
before you leave, your contact.
I was gonna say, is that something we should put on the next agenda and get word out there if you're interested?
Yeah, I'd be interested in something like that too.
Yeah,
Would you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
and it's just different beautification projects in the park, or, like I said, working on maybe getting a couple bands through the summer for the shelter.
Absolutely.
I know Craig does a little bit here and there
I got some.
with the shelter and things.
And it'll be helping not just the park down here, but the ball field and the recreation area is all part of,
Mhm.
that would be
Yeah.
looked over by them. So that would be,
Might as well, I just took over doing the chambers lawn on both places, cause nobody was doing it.
Yeah,
Boys doing it?
No, they weren't doing it, so now I do it.
well, what we did find out,
Yeah, it's gotta look good.
He does that on Pettinger.
He does one part of it.
Mhm.
You're behind, man.
I'm okay.
It was today.
Did ya? Yeah.
what we also
Awesome,
found out
that's all we
was-
need, just somebody battling over who can get there first.
Hell no.
To
I was gonna
volunteer.
battle.
Well, the good thing is Kelly, when she was here, Southeast Michigan Council of Governments, and with her, she gave us an opportunity to write for a grant. It's a minimum of 100,000 and a max of 2.5, I believe it was, on each project.
Yep.
With that, we're gonna ask, obviously, the best thing we can ask, and that's what she offered, is to write the grant for that.
Nice.
That way we're far better, in a better shape and condition, having her do it because of the background and her signature. So, based on that, I think the board should ask her formally that she in fact do that. That's 100,000 minimum, it's a a DNR grant, it's called a Spark grant. There's no matching funds, and you don't even have to have the plan formally put together before you present it. All you need to do is to say you want to address this in this area, that in that area. We might wind up with a stadium out there at the Little League fields with bleachers and all that kind of stuff, but we have to ask for it. I mean, the nice things to have, the community would certainly like that kind of thing. We need to work on our trail system up in the park up here north of town, and we can certainly do some more down in the park with maybe some swings and stuff for larger people, that kind of thing, that go down to the park. Maybe it'll keep them busy, but they won't break things anymore. That would
It'd
be
be
nice.
nice to have handicaps.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And that's what we need to address with her, and I'll write that down, so it's part of our discussion.
She agreed to write the grant for us.
Yeah.
just as
Yeah.
the last meeting.
So we don't have to vote on it, we just have to agree to it,
Yeah. Yep, I'm good with that.
okay? Anybody else want to weigh in on
Oh,
it?
absolutely.
You're good, you're good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Evelyn? And I am good.
Metal
So we'll just say it's, let's just say it's a 5-0, not a vote, but a 5-0 commitment. And as we get the Parks and Rec put together, we formally
Yeah.
put her in there and her help us.
Yep,
Okay, I like that.
yep.
Anything else anybody's got to say about downtown?
From what I understood, what you said, do you want?
Put your hand up to be recognized.
Sorry.
That's all right, you just speak up.
Well, I was like, I don't battle everybody this week. So you're like moving everything closer. So we were doing the VJ Day parade in downtown Hillman, where you got a line and then
Yeah.
you have the white that's closer to the middle. So you're gonna do something like that down here with the turn lane and the,
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
still need the turn lane in town, and, you know, right to the light right there, but, yeah, put just kind of a center line and
yeah,
get rid of the turn lane throughout the rest of town.
are you?
When we talked to the MDOT, like I said, there was a few concerns that they already have, and that was, one of them was down at the post office.
Yeah,
You know, the curve right there, and then, you know, some of the other spots. And, you know, maybe if somebody's making a right turn, it'll slow traffic down, because you'll have to stop, let traffic clear to make your right turn in any other street, except for, you know, under the light.
and I got confused with everybody talking, were you actually going to extend the sidewalks?
We were looking at it, yep, that was one of the things. I mean, we're looking at all kinds of things.
I got
did
lost
get
in
some
the
in.
shuffle last week,
Yeah.
sorry. I was trying to keep up, but
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic. but
Yeah, it was,
it will certainly, I believe, help the township instead of being a drawing economic value.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have more people wanting to have a business in downtown. And it doesn't take a lot just to change the complex of the whole
yeah,
thing.
the beautification of it and things,
You bet.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. It's
Oh, no,
just like I
no,
said, I
that's-
just got kinda lost in the
Yep.
shuffle last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
What
there
about
was
if you
some stuff
project-
that I found out, what's that?
What about if you project stuff outside of just this one strip right here? Go farther west so where you can expand the road itself, or go on 33 North where you can expand the road, and then you got places to park. We got nothing in the middle of the town here as far as parking structures, or buy some old buildings, make a parking structure or something. I don't know. But you seem to be focused right on this one little strip, and I don't think there's much you can do with it.
Well, all the way down through town,
Yeah.
the whole town strip down through
But you
there.
know, you come up here and you got the curve, what are you gonna do there? You can't, there's no center
Right.
turn lane
And
there
then-
anyway.
Well, and then even like you used to park on the shoulder of the road and walk into the courthouse.
Yeah,
So they went ahead and removed the sidewalk off there, so they don't get that kind of traffic parking right there on the curb. I mean, you just got curves on both ends of town,
Yeah.
that you wouldn't want somebody parking alongside town. I mean, it's just.
yeah, but I think we need to expand our vision and take downtown further that way. You know, to include out to, like, past the fire station or something. Get the planning commission to look at redrawing the lines on what downtown is.
It's an idea.
Something where you can expand, where you've got the room to move.
Yep.
You know, you got buildings here that are, what, 60 feet apart or something on the main strip?
I think some of these lot sizes are,
You're always a real lot higher.
0 lot lines, they're
Yeah,
25 feet or whatever they are. Yep. And then the township don't go very far that way,
no.
and you run into Avery, so, you know.
Yeah, you can only do so much out
Expanding
that way.
out that way, you don't
Yeah,
go very
the only
far,
opportunity we got is west and north.
west and north. I mean,
Yep.
we can go south, but now you gotta go over the dam, and we're already there.
Yeah,
Paying the sidewalk line down there by the fishing dock, we'll be all set.
Maybe even some parking lines.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I believe
Some
that's
people park
coming.
like this, some people
I
park like
believe that's coming
this.
if we keep people from burning their stuff down on new asphalt. So,
It'd be good.
anything else? Yeah? Okay. Charging stations for autos and e-bikes, I have not heard anything back, have you?
No, we haven't. And
Rescue?
probably we won't. I mean, we might get a formal discussion from them that they've spoken to people that own the properties and so on and so forth, and have chosen to exclude or include or whatever. It has to come from them. We're not paying a dime for them.
Right.
It's all state and federal money, so
Yep, yep.
whatever they do for us is pro gratis and it's good for the community.
You bet. Okay. New business. We have a PTO request here for some time off, half a day on Thursday is what she's,
It's funny,
4 hours.
yep, 4 hours.
She just wants to bring it in front of the board, make sure everybody knows that she would like to leave
Name's a good question.
Thursday, the 20th.
Yep.
Why is this coming before the board?
Well,
Shouldn't it
because,
just go to her supervisor for approval?
well, her supervisor is the admin administrator assistant,
Yeah, she's,
so that's all of us.
well, it comes under me.
Well, it comes under the clerk,
Comes under the clerk.
just like the DPW goes under you.
Right.
And so I just feel
Okay.
that somebody requesting time off really isn't a public concern. And why is it being discussed in an open meeting? It's an employee situation. So I don't understand why it's being brought up,
Okay.
unless there's an issue.
But
No,
that's,
I don't think-
this is where there's the discussion. And this comes back under 505, 502, anywhere through that section, this is discussed. it's one of the things that's actually in there, is the PTO. That's being modified. Because it's being modified, some of this won't be necessary. It's not necessary for something like this to go through the board. It's necessary to go through the immediate supervisor.
Right.
So in this case, this would be me. If it comes through DPW, that goes through Ken. And Ken gives that permission to Brian's responsibility to work with that PTO request within his department. When it comes to Brian, that comes back to Ken, because Ken's his immediate supervisor. So if Brian requests time off, Ken will make sure that happens, and he'll make sure that that department's covered, I'm sure. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, with that, we really don't need it to come
Okay.
before the
No,
board
she
unless
just,
it's,
she just threw it out here in the board packet. I think,
Because
think
it says
she's-
on the form.
it's exactly, it says.
right,
in the-
immediate supervisor, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it says, and so that's why there's a discussion going on,
Yeah.
because some of this is not accurate.
I mean, how many employee concerns go into closed meeting because it's an employee concern? I just
Right.
don't feel that this is something that needs to be talked about in a public meeting and be part of
Okay.
public record.
Yeah.
I think the only reason it should be is if the supervisor says no, or the
That's
employee
what I
has a
said, if
con-
there's an
yeah.
issue.
Right, if there's an issue, yeah,
Then yes, but
But
if there's not,
Right,
right. I don't know, she just handed it to me and, or was in the packet.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, she took it off my desk and put it in the back,
Okay.
so it's cool.
so we'll
So
make
there you
sure
go.
under
From
the,
there,
Yep,
we'll throw it over into Phil's court and,
yep, it's all handled.
so then we'll, from there, then we're gonna make sure in the employee handbook to adjust what it says on there.
where,
So
where
that-
they need to go
That's
to.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's part of what we've got to do.
Right.
That
Okay,
That's what I'm
package is a
saying.
wreck, needs help.
And should we put in the handbook that all time off has to be requested?
You can't say all time off, because what if somebody's sick,
Well, no, I understand that there's emergencies, but you
the
can't,
PTO, the
yeah.
Well, typically, most employers have a, if you're requesting, well, no, because we have PTO and not, vacation leave. If it's a vacation, you request in advance, but we have personal time off, and so how do you,
So that could be used
anyway,
anytime.
any way they want. Whether
Right.
it's vacation, doctor's appointments,
well,
school events, whatever.
And it'd be
they have the right
nice
to
if-
Use it,
it'd be nice if you're gonna take a week's leave or whatever
right,
to ask for it,
right,
you know,
but,
but if you're sick or whatever, yeah, I get that.
No, I get the sick part. You can't
Well,
help that.
but.
I don't know where you write that in, where you draw the line.
Right, if it's a vacation, if it's more than 70, or 48 hours, more than 2 days, it needs to be requested in advance by however much time.
Okay.
That'll be in the employee handbook, I
That
think, as
should
part
be.
of the thing.
See, those are the things that are
Right.
out there that need to be fixed.
That need to be
because-
fixed.
Yep,
Yep,
and I don't wanna put out something that's wrong where it's gonna, especially with the new rules coming out in October for employees.
okay.
Okay,
And the last one was a added park report. And that's me. Where we stand right now, we, down at the park, the things that we needed to get done, for our grant, the embankment this spring for the fishing dock got put in. And I'm calling it embankment, I don't know, the anchor
right,
to the kayak got put in. The new pavement along the road got done with the road. The new pavement for the walk got done. And down in the old chamber building, the plumbers have been in there and they got it all replumbed. They've got a rough plumbing inspection okayed, according to the plumber. The electrician's been in there, and the rough electrical has been okayed. There's a new septic system in there, a 2-tank system that have been brought up to code per health department specs. Dave Fisher has got a bunch of stuff for the walls and things. He was just making sure that, everybody had their rough inspections done. The other day, Gilchrist Mechanical dropped off the urinals, the stools, the sinks and things and set them out here in the garage. So they're ready to go once the walls are up. So, once things get rolling again, it kinda stalled a little bit through the summer by the time inspections come and go and everything else, but I think everybody's ready to go back at it.
Is there an expected completion date?
I don't,
What is the mandated completion date?
Mandated.
Grant?
we, through the grant, we asked for another 6 months.
So that would.
So that'll give us, December 1st of January to be completed.
I don't think there's any way in the world it won't be done.
No, if everybody could get there, you know, you got 2 days worth of interior work and a day or two to set toilet fixtures and a day or two to put all the light fixtures on. In a week, you could be almost up and running. You know, we need to get the sidewalks, crew back here and get some sidewalks around it
And the back deck,
and back,
patio or deck, whatever. you
yeah,
call it.
whatever that was for the back there.
Yeah,
Yep, so I mean, it's a week or two out if we could just get everybody here in a timely fashion.
Perfect.
So it's,
And then when those go in, the park will save money, because we won't have to have the portage on it anymore.
won't have to portage on. Well, then we could move that handicap one down to the pavilion, so there'd be a handicap bathroom down there. The handicap one's more expensive than the little one.
yeah,
But it's ADA compliant. Plus-
Okay,
God bless you. Who's cleaning it?
they are,
The company.
halls.
The
New bathrooms?
New bathrooms.
Oh, the new bed, our guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, our guys do the pavilion, they do this one here,
Oh,
they,
okay.
yeah,
I'm learning.
yep. No, I sound foolish. Do they go out and clean the ball field bathrooms after
I think that the parents take care
the
of it.
parents?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought something was,
We Delaney cleaned it.
the spiders and the,
Yes.
okay. All right, so that's all I have for a park update. It'd be quick if we could all get there same. Them done. So what's happening? We just, like I said, we're gathering our stuff right now so that we can just go when the time comes.
You're all out.
Yep. All right. Board statements. Ready? No? Vanessa, you got any airport board stuff you wanna talk about?
Our loggers are almost done.
Tree cutting?
From what I heard, they were almost done as of today.
Yeah?
And basically, we're just waiting. We got a new proposal getting drawn up for another property, and it's a waiting game. They're short-staffed, so we're just in limbo right now.
Do you use the logger money to buy more property?
No, we're gonna use it because we don't have much funds. So it's basically, actually, I don't know what we're gonna use it for. Haven't had a meeting yet. Once we get the check, it kinda, we'll go
Yeah.
from there.
Cause the township probably got a piece that, well, we can't sell it to you yet, we won't want it yet. Working on it. Tax sale, we ended up with 2 parcels that we applied for now.
The Township?
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
yeah, one of them was out by the airport. You know, so that maybe the airport board would find some extra coin. And then, another one was on Crooked Lake.
Yep. And there may be another one coming up for the airport board very shortly. I won't know for a short time, but it looks like it's possible, and it's right at the end of the runway,
Oh,
on the southeast corner. Tom
Yeah.
already knows about it, I'll let him know.
Yeah.
And he should be able to get that for a good price.
all right. Phil, you been anywhere?
Yeah. Home.
Home?
The,
Put a report in?
oh, that, okay. The
Report.
planning commission, just Monday evening, we didn't have an agenda set that night, so they asked if there was anything we could set, and I said, yes, we can, and we did discuss it. It was, three things. One was housing, two was, the second one was, single family and other areas where we might be able to get affordable housing in. Working with, Airbnbs and that type of thing, which is really causing a problem. Here in the neighborhood, everybody's brother thinks they ought to have one, and it's really cutting down on the availability for housing to the general public. The other part of that was, let's see, what was the third one? The tiny homes, because for whatever reason, it was written that 240 up to 500, I think it was, you could build or do it, a tiny home, and then it becomes a small home, which wasn't mentioned at all, so between 500 and 720, which is a single family dwelling, which is really where we are in our ordinances. That's where we start at 720 square feet. So we have a problem right now with tiny homes, people getting Amish sheds that come up here and all of a sudden they try to put water in, or they've been trying to do outhouses. Outhouses are not legal anymore, and therefore you can't have one unless it sits on a, what do you call that thing?
Ribby.
Septic.
Well, it's gotta
tank.
sit on a septic
It's
tank.
gotta sit on a septic tank.
Yeah,
Then you can do it, it becomes legal, but other than that, it's not.
Ribby.
So there's a lot of things like that that are really causing problems. And I can tell you there's some situations going on right now in Hillman and also in Lewiston that are gonna create major problems, I believe, for them, because of that type of issue. So we gotta look at tiny homes big time. And trailers, because trailers are starting to come in again, and trailers again aren't legal. We don't have a trailer park. You can have a small trailer and have it next to your house, but you can't have anybody living in it. That kind of a situation. There's just a lot out there that needs to be addressed in our township. That would clean up the look of it, clean up the ordinance in the town, where everybody's property will comply, as opposed to, it's just like blight, what Craig said, it's the same thing. When you put something up that doesn't belong there and it's put in the wrong place and it doesn't fall within the ordinance, you broke the law. And so we're trying to get that contained and cleared up, so when everybody starts building more, it'll be all proper, which has to happen. It's not telling you how your house has to look, it's just telling you this is where it's gotta go and blah, blah. And that's normal. So that's what we worked on Monday night. Even without an agenda, we discussed all that. And the next one's going to be, like I said, it's gonna be zoning, zoning ordinance material with MnDOT. And we'll go from there.
cool.
That's where I went.
All right. Evelyn, you been anywhere?
Ambulance board last week. They, just concluded their EMT class. There's tests that need to be taken. And there's, very viable students for, that, if they pass their tests, could be hired. So they're looking at that. Everything else is status quo, no, real major problems with ambulances. So So it's all good.
Okay, thank you. Public comment again?
You go in?
Oh, well, no, my fire board was, last meeting,
So,
Okay.
a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
There's Marva.
The first thing is the park. Is there a vandalism report? Because from what I understand, there've been several sinks broken and, outhouse dumped over. And we're looking at putting in the new bathroom and all that in the chamber. How are we going to contain the vandalism? It's an issue that has to be looked at, obviously,
Yep,
unfortunately. And I will say this, I might be a hard nose on this, but I say we cut them no slack. We
prosecute.
cut them no slack when they break the toilet, or when they dump over the outhouse, because it costs the township money, and it's vandalism. I say we prosecute to the post, no, you know, I'm saying we cut them no slack on that.
yep,
My opinion.
yep, there has been some vandalism down there. The one sink got broke.
Yeah.
And, with the cameras that are, in the pavilion, they had, 6 kids that they kinda questioned. One of them fessed up. So, we gave him a rake and a shovel and, about 10 yards of topsoil, and he spread topsoil out alongside the new cart path in the park. Shortly thereafter, another sink got broke, and with the cameras again, we was able to narrow it down. And, this kid come in and apologized, but in the meantime, it's still broke. So, we gave him some loppers, and, he cut brush back out of the alley alongside the park. The tipping over of the, outhouse, porta potty, we, happened way down by the fishing pier. And we have no cameras down there yet. We now have in our pocket 2 of them, and they're gonna go up right shortly, down that direction somewhere, somehow, so that we could keep an eye on that down there.
So if there's still, Brittany just said it's the same group of kids for 2 years.
Yeah,
So if these punishments aren't working, what are we gonna do to really send them a message?
well, you know, we're gonna have to,
Prosecute them.
we're gonna have to prosecute them. I mean, you hate to take somebody that's, I don't know, I hate to anyway. Somebody that's.
I mean, a sink is what, $300 or more plus labor,
Well,
you know?
we got it at a rate of $1.50 or whatever.
Yeah, but
So, I mean, I know, it's what it is.
The second time, the police department was called.
Right, the second time the police department was called,
There's 3 people talking right now.
I'm sorry, excuse me, go ahead, Ken.
well, like Vanessa said, the second time the police department had been called, and they went, questioned this young man, and he come and apologized. So, I mean, they are calling the police, or we are calling the police. And it was just, but nothing has happened, well, except for the outhouse being tipped over.
But the
And the
issue
last-
is, it's the same group of kids, so they're not getting the message.
Right.
Right,
Well, the first
An
2.
example out of 1 or 2 of them, and I believe they will get the message.
well, I thought we would if you got a few blisters, but maybe not.
But where are the parents in this?
Yeah.
Well, I can't answer.
Absolutely.
If you take it further than this level, then the parents